Hey, what is up guys, GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Outerplane video. Now, I've been enjoying the game a ton, for sure. Alright, so this is the arena that the game has, definitely very similar to Epic 7 again, if you guys are not familiar. So let's talk a little bit about tier lists. I'm sure some of you guys are still rerolling, and hopefully I'm not too late in making this video to give you guys a better idea based upon what I've discovered in the tier list. Hopefully also tell you guys the reason of why I reroll for these characters that I got, and overall give you a heads up on a couple of things to take note of moving forward, because a tier list might not tell you as much compared to me explaining certain things and what you get later on in the game. Now, first things first, this video is sponsored by LD Player. So if you guys haven't used it already, LD Player is one of the best, if not the best, Android emulator on the market. So as you can see right now, I'm running the game on LD Player myself as well, one of the latest version. The current version that I'm running is 9.0.27, LD Player 9 of course. If you guys are looking to play any Android games on your PC, LD Player is definitely one of the best emulators that I can recommend. It's very smooth, very streamlined, it allows you to enable macros, and if you want to set hotkeys for every specific button, you can easily do that using LD Player. I've been using LD Player for a long time now and definitely enjoyed their product, something that I can definitely vouch for. Now if you guys are interested, feel free to use my LD Player link in the description or in the pinned comment below. With that being said, let's jump into Outerplane's tier list. Now, before we jump into the tier list, first things first, I want you guys to keep in mind to take all of this info with a grain of salt, because this is a CBT tier list, meaning that some things might have changed since then. So keep in mind that with games like this also, there's always going to be buffs or nerfs for characters, which you might have to look forward to. So with that being said, looking at this tier list right now, you can see based on the SS tier and S tier, there's plenty of characters that we are all familiar with. Now first things first, if you are rerolling, there's going to be two particular sections that you want to try to focus on. Now the first one is the Selective Recruit. That one you want to leave it alone, focus on the first 20 pulls first. Alright, so what do I mean by that is you gotta claim everything from your mailbox and then go ahead and do 20 summons on the regular standard banner or on the Laplace banner, whichever that you prefer. Now do keep in mind that it might be a rough process to get a specific one recommended hero because of the rates. Alright, so the rates are not extremely high. 2% is, I think, a lot about the average, but it's gonna take a while before you get what you want. So ideally, the recommended hero that most players have been mentioning is going to be Veronica or Valentine. Now apparently Valentine is going to be the better one between these two, because she has a bunch of DPS going into her. As you can see, let's jump into the codex and talk about her skills. She has an ability that attacks an enemy, increases the priority of the ally with the highest attack by 20%. Now this is always going to be good, doesn't matter in PvP or PvE. Increasing the priority of the ally, definitely something that not many other characters can do, right? Second skill right here, Lucky or Die, increase everyone's, alright, so not just hers but everybody's critical hit chance and critical damage, and also gains an extra turn after using this skill. So she buffs and she's also able to gain an extra turn. You can see that's like an insane value right there. Next one is the Bloody Valentine, where it attacks all enemies, reduces the target's priority by 25%. Of course, again, this is going to be quite an impact depending on how she can turn the tide of the battle. Definitely is going to turn it in your favor. Also, an ability to chain finish effect, 100% chance to increase all allies' critical damage. Now, I do think that she's going to be the priority for most of the players. Definitely, if you can only pick one, Valentine is going to be worthwhile. Now, definitely the second best is going to be Veronica, someone that I see a lot of players have been mentioning. Now, Veronica is going to be much more of a bruiser as opposed to a damage dealer. As you can see, she has the ability to taunt the enemy, 70% chance, activates dual attack from the ally when the highest attack if the caster's defense is currently increased. Ability to taunt, definitely very useful. Now the second skill right here removes 2 debuff from the caster at the start of the turn, so grants a barrier to the ally with the lowest health for 1 turn. The barrier strength increase proportional to the caster's max HP. So you can see Veronica right here can do quite a lot of things as well with the barrier and stuff. And endurance cannon is going to be the last one. This one is going to increase the defense of all allies for 3 turns and also remove 1 buff from the target. Okay, so again, target's defense is going to be increased by up to 50%. Definitely one of the strongest support tank in the game, somewhat, if that's even a term. Now, looking at this tier list right now, you can try and notice both of them are at the top of the tier list. Alright, so but and then there's this third girl right now. Apparently this girl is removed from the banner, so you can no longer roll for her, sadly. So that's something to keep in mind. Now next up is Seiran, this girl right here. Now again, Seiran is not bad, but she's probably the best healer in the game. If you can only pick one healer, she is going to be one of the top healers in the game, definitely. But of course, when you reroll, you don't want to reroll for a healer supporter. You're gonna get Eva later on. Yes, she's a bit of a low tier, but I don't really recommend going for Seiran regardless. And then you can see right here, Noah is apparently the top recommended to pick if you are looking for a hero to recruit, right? The truth is, Noah is going to be available in the selective recruit, so I don't think you need to prioritize her in the general regular standard pool, right? Now Noah seems to be very interesting as well for a damage dealer. She's a wind type damage dealer. Right here you can see every time she hits the enemy, she gains this thing called the Kaiser energy, and this ability apparently can help her score critical hit. Now the last 2-star right here, you can see if you can obtain her, she's going to be one of the best fit for the entirety of the game. She is one of the strongest debuffer in the game. You can see right here, the first ability has a chance to reduce a target's attack. Second ability, this is pretty good right here. Alright, has a 70% chance, not exactly 100%, but still 70% chance to reduce everyone, all the enemies' speed and accuracy for 2 turns. Alright, that is pretty crazy value right there. The last one, attacks all enemies, 70% chance to silence on the target for 2 turns as well. And yeah, definitely for a 2-star, Dolly can do a lot of debuff. Highly recommend if you guys can get her as one of your chance to get a 2-star, she should be your best one. So if you are going all in, based upon this tier list, something to keep in mind, Valentine plus Dolly, best choice by far. That's the best reroll if you're trying to min-max all the way. Now let's talk about a few of these other characters right here. You can see we have Alice, Snow right here, Lisha, we have Leo, we have Francesca, we have Eliza, Maxwell, and Vera. Now, Vera is someone that I can definitely vouch for. Maxwell apparently is one of the best choice to obtain from the selective. Alright, if you have to pick one, you can either go for Eliza or Maxwell. Now I do have an Eliza at level 37, as you can see right there. I do think she's pretty strong, although she's more centric towards bleed or trying to apply bleed to the enemy, so that's something that you have to keep in mind. You might have to build a certain team around her, or you might have to ensure that she has a certain type of gear so that she can proc bleed more often. Now the truth is, right now if you're looking at this SS and S class character, one thing that I think a lot of players overlook or not talk about is going to be a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to reduce this so we can only focus on the SS and S tier, which is going to be the majority of what you guys care about in terms of rerolling. Now, here's the thing. I want you guys to observe the elements. Now we have Alice, alright, and then we have these 3 characters right here. So this is a healer, this is a damage dealer, Alice is also somewhat a damage dealer. We got 2 damage dealer wind type, and then Dolly is going to be a debuffer. That's fair. Early on, whether you like it or not, the game forces you to power up this character called Rona. Alright, they even give you enough materials to transcend her. Now, you're going to probably invest on her, whether you like it or not, because the game sort of forces you to do this particular quest. If you guys are not aware, this is the guide quest for beginners. Alright, you get a bunch of her shards, enough to get her up to 4-star. It will be kind of foolish to not use her. She's going to be one of your strongest character for wind type, which is also something that you want to take into consideration. You might not want to build too many wind types. Yes, there is an advantage in terms of building multiple elements, putting multiple elements in the team. I am aware of that, but the truth is materials are always gated early on. So hopefully that's something that you have to take into consideration as well. And one more thing, why did I choose Leo? Alright, so look at this list again. One more thing that you want to consider, if you look at elements, take into consideration of every single element right here. We have fire, water, water, wind, wind, wind. We have wind, water, fire, light, dark, 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 dark. Alright, so based upon the day 1 tier list, Leo is the only character in this list that is a light type. Alright, so light type tank is definitely very beneficial. Alright, so if you guys are not aware already, apparently light type is quite rare in this game. So if you don't have Leo, your next one is going to be Eva. I think you're pretty much limited to that in the higher upper tier. The rest, you move down into the lower tier, you get this girl right here, I forgot her name, and that's pretty much it. There seems to be only 3 light type characters in the game, which is why I opt to pick Leo. Hopefully, I do think in the long run, Leo is going to be able to prove his usefulness. Now, this is not proven yet. Obviously, we're still in the early game stage. Once we move on into the later stage, I do think that his ability is going to help a lot of the other characters. Now, you can see he attacks enemies, 80% chance to gain barrier, alright, and then also this ability, increase evasion, grants a barrier equal to 50% of Leo's defense to all allies. I thought that was pretty cool. In case you guys are wondering, I was reading this earlier as well. Evasion in this game is a bit different. Alright, accuracy and evasion, the attacker's accuracy and the target's evasion determines whether the attack hits its mark. So if you miss, miss will occur if an attack is evaded, and if missed, damage is reduced by 20%, and debuffs will not be applied. So evasion is quite cool in that sense. In arena or in PvP, that means that you have less chance to get debuffs applied to you. Now we just look at a number of characters that can apply debuff, like Dolly, where she can silence you, she can slow you, etc. And if you have high evasion, that is most likely not going to happen. You're not going to get debuff at all. So yeah, overall, that is pretty much what I want to talk about in this particular tier list. Hopefully you guys take everything you see here with a grain of salt. Again, not surprised if they're going to change up certain things that will affect the meta later on, or maybe new characters might be released that will change how things flow in the game. But for now, this is going to be the day 1 tier list for Outerplane. Hopefully this is going to be a reference as well for any of the global players hoping to play this game in the future. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like if you guys enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments below, who do you guys settle for. Have a nice day. Goodbye.